You're listening to the 15 Minutes of Fame on the Podcast Business News Network.
Johane Filemon joining us here live. Excited to have her. And we're going to talk today about the work she's doing as a registered dietitian and so much more. Owner of her own company, Wonderfully Nutritious Solutions. And is it VEEV Nutrition?
Yes, Vive Nutrition.
Perfect. Well, pleasure to have you. Nice to meet you. Where are you based out of?
I am based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a virtual practitioner. So I see people all over the country.
Fantastic. Well, it's exciting to have you here and to learn more about the work that you're doing. Would you mind sharing, as a nutritionist, what's the difference between that versus a registered dietitian nutritionist? Would you mind sharing that for us?
Sure. So I am a registered dietitian nutritionist, which means that if you meet someone like me, we have bachelor's degree. Most of us have master's degree now because it's going to be required soon for all registered dietitians to have at least a master's degree. We have gone through internships and we are board certified. While someone who is a nutritionist, just a nutritionist, you may not know if they've gone through schooling. They could have just woken up one day and decided that you can call me a nutritionist now. So with a registered dietitian nutritionist, you are sure to get someone who has the schooling, the understanding, the background that is needed to help you reach your goals.
Exciting to hear about this and to learn more about nutrition and especially in inflammation. That's what you specialize in, right? Would you mind sharing?
Yeah. I specialize in anti-inflammatory therapies and digestive health therapies. So I help my clients who are experiencing inflammation, whether it's diagnosed or not. They just feel off. They feel like something's wrong. Doctors may not be able to pinpoint what it is that's going on. All the tests are coming back negative. And so with food, I help them to reverse symptoms and to heal. And some people, they just want to feel better. They feel like I don't have a diagnosis. I don't really have something that's preventing me from completing my daily activities, but I feel like there's more that I can be or more that I can do with my wellness. And so they come to me to help them do that.
Beautiful. And so you create a V of nutrition, you say, because some need assistance because their body's deficient, right?
Right.
So inflammation, food as medicine, individualized therapies. I know this is kind of what you wanted to focus on a little bit today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with the healthcare system that we have today, they don't like us to use the term that food is medicine. But I really believe that food is medicine. It's not medication, which has its role in saving lives, but food can be medicine in the sense that if something is chronically going on, we can reverse it or maintain it via, the person's diet and the foods that they're eating. Of course, if there's something acute going on and is life-threatening and medication is necessary, absolutely, that's its role. But medication should not be the first go-to when a situation that can be handled with someone's lifestyle changes.
Yeah. Wow. And I got to find out what brought you into this field to begin with. How did you get here?
Yeah, so I was pre-med exercise science at Florida State University, where I got my first undergrad, and they wanted us to take nutrition courses. At that time, I didn't know anything about nutrition. I didn't know that nutrition was or dietetics was actually a field or a career that I could do. So when I took those classes, I was like, wow, I can merge my passion of food, which I got that passion from my parents who were both culinary trained. And so my dad was a French chef by career choice. And so that passion of food and my passion of medicine and healing, I was able to combine the two. And I'm like, okay, this is the career for me. This is where I'm going to go. This is the path I'm going to take. And with the specialty that I do with anti-inflammatory therapies, I got into that because I got sick. I contracted H. pylori, which is a bacterial infection that attacks your gut. The lining of your gut can cause food intolerances, and can be very hard to kill. And so that caused damage to my gut after the harsh antibiotics that they gave me caused even more damage as well. And the doctors couldn't figure out why I was still having these symptoms. And I was already a registered dietitian. So I put on my little researcher hat And I started researching, even though the literature out there was not really connecting everything that I was telling my rheumatologist and my gastroenterologist. I knew what I felt was real. And as I did more research, I learned more about the healing processes and what I can do to heal myself. And I basically became my first client. I healed my gut. And since then, I've been healing others because I knew there were others out there like me who needed this help and couldn't find someone to help them because they too were being told everything is coming back negative. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with you. And, I've been helping people ever since.
Wow, this is an amazing story. And where are you licensed to work? Are you able to work with people in different states, or how does it work in your field?
Yeah, so it depends on the state, or it depends on what I'm doing. I'm licensed in the state of Georgia. I'm registered all over the United States because our registration is nationwide. But some states have licensure and some don't have licensure. The state that I'm in Georgia does have licensure. California, for instance, does not have licensure. So it depends on the state and it depends on what exactly I'm doing. If I'm practicing medical nutrition therapy, I may not be able to cross state lines, but I don't usually have a problem with the clients that I'm working with nationwide.
Interesting. Awesome. This is great stuff. So, as far as your work, let's digress a little bit further into it. You mentioned the inflammation. I know we didn't, go into too many details, but also you like helping people. You mentioned with what was it? The food as medicine. We talked about the therapies. What therapies in particular do you use to help your clients?
Yeah, so the therapies that I use are really person specific because everyone is individualized in the treatments that they need.
Mm-hmm.
My gut, your gut, they're like fingerprints. They're very unique to us. What's going on with our gut microbiome was influenced by what our moms ate when they were pregnant with us.
Mm-hmm.
Our environment, what we eat, our medical
That's right.
background. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
things that goes into it, which
Yep.
make our gut really specific to
That's
us.
that's all you hear about gut health, and
Right. We
that
hear
gets
about it
confusing
all
to
the
people.
time.
But you could break that down for us, I'm sure, right?
Absolutely. So, because of that, when I create therapies, I take into consideration everything that's going on with my client. I do run a blood test to find out the foods that are causing them problems right now that are not being tolerated by their bodies at this point in
Hmm.
time. And I use those results to create the therapy. So, in which includes their medical history, their dietary history, their symptoms so that I can know what they should be eating right now so we can allow the gut to calm down. Because if the gut continues to be exposed to food that it's intolerant to, it's not going to heal. It's going to stay
Yeah.
inflamed because it's like, I can't do
Hmm.
anything with this. I'm trying to heal, but then you're giving me things that I can't handle.
True.
So my job in creating these therapies is to help in the healing process and helping people to be their better selves, whether they've had a
They were having a connection issue, I think.
diagnosis or not.
Hello? There you go. Yeah, my camera
I'm here.
just went off. You got stuck. You got frozen. Some
Oh,
connection
really?
issues. But yeah, we're good. We're good. VeeveNutrition.com. Got to remind everyone, VEEV nutrition.com. As you say, happy gut, happy life, right?
Right. Happy gut, happy
And
life.
wow. And again, as a registered dietitian nutritionist, Joanne's here to help us and to help you. And really, she can work with anyone. So, what you got to do is go to the website, Vive Nutrition, and we can talk more about the programs. And even there's like gut defense. I was reading them before. There's like a probiotic mix, there's
Uh-huh.
resets. How do we know what's good for us? So, what is the process like to work with you? I guess there's an initial intake form. Do you offer an initial consultation?
Absolutely. So I do an initial consultation so I can find out if we work well together. Am I the dietitian for you based on whatever it is your goals are? So that's the first thing. So we do an initial consultation where I do collect all the information that is necessary. And people are contacting me via wonderfullynutritious.com. So wonderfullynutritious.com is where you can go and contact me if you want to set up an appointment for initial consultation.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I collect lots of information during that consult. I have tools that I have my clients fill out so that I can find out where systematically if they are experiencing symptoms and if they are a candidate for the therapy that I have. So I have therapies and then I have the traditional route of doing things as well when it comes to being a dietitian. So it depends on if the person is a candidate, then I recommend them for the actual therapy that is more person specific in what we're doing. So Vive Nutrition is my supplement line. Throughout the years, I've recommended many great supplements because my goal is to get your body to do what it can do on its own. Supplements are there to supplement where we can't get the nutrients from our diet or the assistance from our diet. So I decided to create my own supplement line since I've been recommending supplements for people who need it for years. So that's what Vive Nutrition is. And so probiotics, of course, are the good bacteria that's in our gut. So those probiotics that I have on my website are there to replenish the good bacteria in your gut if you are lacking, if you're deficient due to many different factors. I have many other supplements on there. So the gut defense, the gut stabilizer. So my recommendations for those when I'm recommending them for clients, it depends on what's going on with them. If we've done everything with the diet and there's still symptoms, then we may need to go to a gut stabilizer. The gut defense is defending the gut from toxins and bacterias and viruses that may be trying to attack the gut still. So we may go that route. So it depends. Everyone is different.
All right, good to know. And by the way, just quickly about COVID and the pandemic, that is, how did that affect you, your business, and our guts, right? Everyone
Oh
wants
my gosh.
to build immunity, and part of it is putting
Absolutely.
in good foods in our body and good nutrition and good supplements, right? So I'm sure
Right.
this is probably busy for you now because people want to get better before they get sick.
Right.
Preventative medicine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it didn't affect my practice, thank God, because I was already virtual.
Oh, good.
Even before COVID. So I didn't have much of a transition. But you're absolutely right. COVID did wreak havoc on people's gut. And a lot of studies came out stating that a significant number of people who ended up in intensive care unit, the ICU, did have low vitamin D levels. And so vitamin D is very important for our gut health. And if we are deficient, we need to figure out ways to basically get our numbers back up where we are not deficient, because low vitamin D levels is associated with poor immune health. And our immune system is very important during these times. So absolutely, your gut health needs to be up. You need to figure out if something is going on, contact someone like myself.
Right. And remind us how we could do that. Tell us your contact number.
And you can go to wonderfullynutritious.com, go to my contact page, and you can contact me that way. And I will be happy to help you get to where you need to get.
Fantastic. And in closing today, is there a quote you wanted to end with?
I don't really have a quote. I can have a statement. So you are your own advocate. You know yourself best. Going to the doctor the first time, they've never met you before. If they're telling you that what you're saying is incorrect, it's in your head, you need to find another provider. You know yourself best, advocate for yourself, and find yourself a dietitian nutritionist like myself to help you meet all of your nutrition goals, especially your gut health goals.
Beautiful. And it's vivenutrition.com, VEEV nutrition.com.
Yes. And that's a French, coming from a French saying, vivre, which is French, means to live. So vive. So I got that because I have a French background. So
beautiful. Well, thank you. Do you want to share a phone number or social media page too before we go?
Yes. Instagram, Black Nutritionist Mama. That's my Instagram page. So please go. You can DM me on there as well if you need to contact me and reach me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you today. Looking forward to the next time we connect. You have a fantastic day. Thank you.
Thank you.
All of our listeners, stay tuned. Think about it. Contact her. Vive Nutrition, guys. We live one life. Let's make the best of it and keep that gut healthy.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Remember, For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.